Welcome back to the show. I'm Kristen Volturno.
And I'm Liana Burnside.
So we have our final preview video for Legacy Lost, and my goodness, these cards are actually pretty good.
Yeah, they do not disappoint. There's a lot of stuff to shake up the format in here.
So starting off, we have Gruce Ballesta, Magic Stone Researcher, and he gives your Magic Stones barrier. That alone makes him a playable counter against Captain Hook.
Right, because until now, Captain Hook has been so, prohibitive against running decks that use special stones. And so it's really limited people in trying to play, decks that run 3 or 4 colors.
So he essentially is an enabler for 5-colored decks, and he allows you to cycle through to find the right stone.
Right, which is awesome. The ability to, I don't need these stones right now, discard them. Let's see if I can get the stones I do need.
And if you pair it up with Horn of the Sacred Beast, sacrificing stones isn't a big deal.
Right, yeah, because you can just use Horn of Sacred Beast to get them back in your Magic Stone deck. That's awesome. So yeah, I definitely see Gruce Ballesta helping open up the format so that people get a little more creative with color combinations.
Definitely a lot of potential. And if you think that's a lot of potential, you should see Gruce Ballesta's Secret Technique, the most interesting card from these previews.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of potential. I think the most important thing to remember is that if you have Gruce Ballesta on the field, not only are you turning a Magic Stone into a Resonator that can attack, it will still have barrier against everything.
There's already brewing going around using Charm of the Princess to steal your opponent's stones, and maybe it's a viable way to avoid Soul Hunt banishes.
Right, yeah, so you turn the Magic Stone into a Resonator, and then you steal it, and then if you can somehow sacrifice it, then you basically are hurting your opponent badly by putting them one behind on the will curve.
So Curse of the Kyuubi is the ultimate sideboard card. I actually really like this card.
Yeah, I can definitely see this. If you know what your opponent's strategy is, then on game 2 you can bring this card in and cripple it.
Most definitely. Although it's not good against Aliceris.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe one day he'll be good. The more cards you banish, the stronger he gets.
It's definitely a good card if you have Mana Despair. I can definitely see this making its way into Alice trade decks.
Right, because they tend to have a lot of extra will floating around because they don't actually have a ruler to flip. So yeah, it's a great card. It is a little heavy on the will it requires to use to counter. But if you know what you're trying to counter, it's a great spell.
Yeah. So then we have Lumia's Purification. The CGI coloring for this card is yummy. I love it. It's straightforward, but a bit costly.
Yeah, it is 3 to destroy something. But I like the fact that after you use it, it gets even more, scary. Because once your opponent knows it's in the graveyard with Remnant, they're going to have to think twice about every single thing they rest.
Most definitely. So the most interesting card that I cannot wait to see play is the Wetlands of Magical Origin. I can't decide how I feel about this card, but I see a lot of potential with it.
Right, this is one of those cards you read it and you're like, okay, if someone finds a way to break this card, it's going to warp the format. But as it is, it's like you pay 2 will to occasionally, you get a will back. I don't know if it's worth the cost, but if someone can figure out a way to keep untapping that, it could be devastating.
I definitely like the option to untap a Magic Stone that you turned into a Resonator with Gruce Ballesta's Secret Technique. That way you're getting 2 attacks in that turn, or maybe 2 defend, as a defender.
Yeah, or maybe even just attack and then untap it so you can, cast a spell or something. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of really cool cards in here, and I'm excited to get to play with them at the pre-release. So hopefully you guys get a chance to play too. And if you're searching for any of the cards that you've seen in our previews, make sure to check out the site, TCGplayer.com. Bye.